Some of you know, I'm from Czech Republic. My name is Victor, and I'm usually comparing some things which we have in Europe and some things which are here in Africa, specifically in Tanzania. And I wanted to discuss food, okay? Because there are some meals in Tanzania which got my attention. I don't want to how to introduce the topic because in some way I must say it won't be too positive as usually, but it should not be too negative. So I don't want to speak about secret weapons of Tanzania, which can be used to distract the enemies. But on the other hand, if you would like to use them and open a Tanzanian restaurant in Europe, it would need a lot of marketing. So let me start. There are only 5 I want to mention. As usually, I have my book here. So number 1 is mishikaki. And when I was coming to Tanzania, everyone was telling me, "You know mishikaki?" I said, "No, I do karate, but I don't know mishikaki." They say, "You never ate it." I said, "Wow, it must be something very special." I didn't know it's meat on a stick, yeah, but everyone was like, "Mishikaki, you know mishikaki, we do mishikaki." I said, "Oh my God." And then I was thinking, I said, "Is it something like sushi?" And they said, "No, mishikaki is not sushi." And then they brought, it was somewhere, I don't know, it was night, it was Tandale or somewhere, or some street where you cannot go with cars. And they brought mishikaki from Miambili or Miamoja. So it was like a dirty stick with something on it, and it was totally dark. So I had, first of all, I thought it's some worms or some kind of a skinny snake who didn't make it home. And then I was looking at it, and then I was like, mishi. You know, mishi in my language means mouse, mpanya, yeah? And kaki means something like shitting or something like that. So I was like, is it like a Jerry, you know Tom and Jerry, yeah? So is it like Jerry shit? I said, no, let's see what they do. And the others were eating it. So I tried it. I said, wow, I know mishikaki. It's a piece of meat on a stick. Amazing. So the fear is away. But if you want to sell it, I would recommend some more marketable name next time. Second thing, but I like mishikaki, but much bigger. Not this from Miamoja, like in Coco Beach, they used to have like 50, but you just made your hands dirty and your stomach was still empty, right? The next one is daga. This is a very special thing. Once I was arrested at the airport for transporting daga, because my ex-wife was Kenyan, and she said, "Bring me daga." I said, "Whatever you want." I got the daga, and I said, "Okay, I'll have to buy a new luggage when I get back to Czech." And when they stopped me, I opened the luggage, and they said, "What is this?" I said, "You ask me? You are selling it here, you eat it here, it's daga, no?" They said, "But you are not allowed to travel with it." I said, "That's great, please take it, because my African wife asked me to bring it, and it stinks like socks, and I hate it." They said, "Oh, you are shemeji, okay, put it back and go." So I was traveling with it. You know, like when I saw it first on the plate, I was a little shocked, because it looks like Samaki kindergarten after terrorist attack. There's so many dead bodies on the table, on the plate, and the rice. And then you go, when it's not cooked, actually when it's cooked it's very nice, yeah? But the smell, I didn't know why it has this strong smell. How can a small fish have such a strong smell? I remembered my grandfather was a very, very famous fisherman, but he always took a fish and cut it out. But do you do it with daga? I think some chocolate stays inside, and that makes the special smell. Why is it so popular among foreigners? Number 3, it's not a meal, but it's famous, let me read it, mbege. Chaka. You know, in European languages, in many languages, especially my language, we are changing the last letter of the word very easily, and it doesn't change the meaning. So for us, like mege, mbega, mbegu, it means almost the same. So it was very tricky also, yeah? Because you say, I must say the right words, but when you come to Moshes and Zumbu and you're asking that you would like to taste some begu, you know, they look at you like, what the hell does he want, yeah? But, you know, I heard this fantastic story that, ada some Wachaga, Wapo. Okay. I heard that there is like a room where all the wazir, they go and they drink bege, mamboja, in the big straws. And I heard that the old guys are sitting at the end and the young guys are next to the door. Because when the wives are calling the young guys, they must run home and they still have motivation to run home. But the wazir, they don't need to run home and they have no motivation to run home. So when I saw this, I was like, I would like to join them. But then I was thinking, what if I will want to go to toilet? I have no wife there. So if I disappear, they might think I'm going to see them and maybe the whole village will be hunting me with the big straws. So I never tried. But Bege actually, I finally tried. And I must say I like it. Actually, the same is for Mishikaki and the same is for Daga, but let's make it a little scary. So, number 4 is this jumping funeral. I call it funeral, jumping funeral, senene. It was another very tricky thing. You know, a long time ago, I was invited to meet some lady from there. Bukoba, yeah? Mahaya. And she said, oh, they are bringing it. I want this senene. I said, ne. Senene. She got it and she said, do you want to try? And when I saw it, I didn't want to try the senene. And I also didn't want to try the lady. Because when I saw how she's eating this dead insect, you know, with the strange smell, I just lost totally my appetite. So, since then I was avoiding senene and I was avoiding ladies with senene in their hands or in their mouth. But once I went to Dodoma, we were drinking, we were sitting with friends. And my friend Mashaka, who was our host there, he said, you know what? You had African wife, you have African daughter, you have African girlfriend, you live in Africa, you are real African. And I said, no. I'm not, I never tasted senene. And he said, aha. And he went to toilet. After 2 hours, he came back from the toilet when I was already talking a lot. And then he came and he put a cucumber with senene in front of me. And he said, and today, you will become Tanzanian. So I was forced to eat it. I got like shot like this of cognac for each ndudu, you know. But I managed. And again, I must say it's quite good. but when you are not raised by people eating senene around the table, it's different. Food number 5, and the last one I would like to mention, which is very special for Tanzania, but you can find it almost in every African country, but every country thinks it's only there, which is ugali, of course, yeah? Ugali. In English they say stiffed porridge. Somewhere they say polenta, but basically it's cooked unga, yeah? It's cooked unga. And there is a tricky question. People ask me almost every day, how do you like ugali? And I say like, oh, I like it with nyama, I like it. No. How do you like ugali? Can you explain what is the taste of cooked unga? Like I'm trying to find this nice word like, okay, I don't look like African, probably. Even though some people think I'm also Maasai. I'm not. But my daughter is half Kenyan. And as a part of the home violence, her mother forced me to cook ugali in the house. And I was cooking ugali for my daughter, especially when she was not at home. And in order to be able to eat it, I was adding salt, I was adding pili pili manga, vitungu, saumu, little bit turmeric, you know, and we could enjoy it. Guess what? She liked it. Only once, her mother came and she said, "What are you cooking?" I said, "You're asking me? This is your food. You put it on the menu. It's your ugali." She tasted it and she said, "This is not ugali." And it was the last time I was allowed to cook ugali. Thank you very much.